don't know whether it's easier to be first or last. I think first, probably. Anyway, really pleased to see so many people here this morning, and I hope I can inspire you further with volunteering. How important are volunteers to your organisation? Do you struggle with turnover of volunteers or keeping up their momentum? But what if you could find a simple solution and an easy way of both empowering and inspiring them to give their very best and continue with what they've been doing? My name's Yvonne Freeman. I represent the Canterbury Climate Action Partnership, and I want to share with you the importance and the ease of acknowledging your eco-champions. I volunteered for 15 years with the Soroptimists International, which is an international organisation focused around helping women, children and also families in their everyday lives. And through that group, I joined the Canterbury Sustainable Development Goals Forum. And from that grew our next step, which is the Canterbury Climate Action Partnership, because the Sustainable Development Goals Forum was very interesting. We were learning all about the goals, but we weren't doing anything practical. And I like to get my hands dirty and do things and make a difference. So 15 years with the Soroptimists, I then joined the Canterbury Climate Action Partnership, and I am still a Soroptimist, by the way. And I'd like to give you two examples of how I felt valued in what I was doing. My first example was when I was actually working in a big secondary school in Ashford as the business director. Now you might say, well, that's not volunteering. Well, it was in a way, because whilst I was there, we became a business enterprise school, we became an academy, and then the last thing the head teacher threw at me was, well, I'd like a nursery and preschool on the site, please. And I thought, oh, okay, fine. So I did all these things, but I couldn't do them within my normal working hours. But because I enjoyed so much what I was doing, I took that as part of my volunteering work, and that led me, when I retired, to become a volunteer. The other example is through the Canterbury Climate Action Partnership, when we decided we needed to do some outreach work, and working closely with Canterbury City Council, which we do. I worked with their environmental manager, and we decided we would reach out to the Canterbury environment, the Canterbury community, who was struggling with not only trying to pay the bills, but thinking about eco, and as Peter rightly pointed out, eco-angst. Well, the first event we held was quite successful. We'd had a lot of people there, but the team who were going to deliver the events moving forward were very positive and all on board. And our chair introduced the group and what we're saying. And then he stopped and he handed the microphone to me and he said, Yvonne, I think you better say some more, because you're really the face of this organisation. Well, I must admit I was taken a bit aback, but nevertheless, I was very, very grateful for what he said. I was also, I forgot to mention earlier, with a head teacher who was quite demanding, let's put it that way, but he had so much vision for the school and I was behind him. But on the day he left, he said some magic words to me. He said, this school is so lucky to have you. You've done so much. And to me, those words were really precious, because it inspired me to carry on and do more. So I've been very fortunate in working with people who have appreciated my work. And therefore, when I joined the Canterbury Climate Action Partnership a year into the organisation, we decided, how can we celebrate other people's work in the community and what they're doing for climate action and biodiversity? And we came up with the idea of Canterbury Climate Action Awards, which would cover the whole of Kent. And I put my hand up, I said, this is right up my street, I'd like to do this, please. And so I ended up with yet another job. But the two most important things I learned from that were firstly the volume and the diversity of work that's going on to address climate change and to support biodiversity, which we must not forget. And also how it can be carried out at so many different levels by so many different people, both young and old. I'd now like to share with you examples of 3 eco-champions who have gone the extra mile and have inspired me. The first is this lady called Professor Becky Parker. Now, this lady is quite amazing. She's actually a physics teacher by trade, and she works with the universities in London. But she decided, when she took up the role at the Simon Langton Girls' Grammar School, that she would not only encourage her students, but also staff, parents, and students in other schools. And so first of all, they started making a nature reserve on the site of the Langton Girls' School. She got the parents involved and she got the teachers involved, and it was really very positive. You're back one. Thank you. Now, This is Becky, and she's actually accepting the award for one of the other schools, because she got so many schools involved with this, which was great. And the last picture was one of a willow, they called it a willow arch, I think, at the school where she actually works, and that's what she did with the parents and the teachers. So she was busy inspiring everybody, and everything that she does, she loves working with young people, but she also sets, but if you get the chance to have a look at it, a website called Biodiversity, and it celebrates everything to do with biodiversity. My second example is a lady from Whitstable called Helen Smith. Well, I won't embarrass her, but she is in the audience today. And Helen is totally committed to addressing climate change and supporting diversity to the various organisations she works with. And I'm going to have to read this because I can't remember them all. Transition Town Whitstable, the Future Food Forests, East Kent Partnership, the Eco Partnership, Abbott's Mill Project in Canterbury, Natural Whitstable, CT5's People's Eco Forum. And she also shares her passion with our young people, and she makes some amazing things. I've been to events with her where she's made bug hutches, bird feeders, and much, much more. A truly inspirational lady. And there she is working at the, I believe that's the Future Food Forest setup. And there is Helen getting her award. Helen won our Individual Climate Action Hero Award last year. My third and final person, or group rather, is the Stream Walk Community Garden in Whitstable. And that's something else that Helen volunteers at as well. But they are a great group of people. They grow crops and they operate on an organic, no-dig principle. They use low-carbon horticulture and they restore biodiversity along the way. And they also make some amazing vegetables, fruit, which they, or grow some vegetables and fruit, which they distribute to the local community. They really are a very inspirational bunch of people who've actually turned some land that was pretty useless before into something that can be celebrated. And that is their chair, along with one of their volunteers. And they won our community award last year. So, what's my takeaway from the Climate Action Awards and from being involved in it? Well, I think the thing that stood out for me was the pride that all the winners took in what they achieved and through getting the award. They didn't really want to be highly recommended or anything like that. They just were grateful that their work had been acknowledged. And for those people who couldn't come to our awards ceremony, I took the opportunity to personally deliver their awards. And actually, in some ways, that was more inspiring to me because I went into one place, in fact, it was an organisation called Lush, which you've probably heard of, and they were over the moon to have got an award. And also the lady from the Franciscan Gardens in Canterbury, which is really worth a visit if you get a chance, she said, "Oh my goodness," she said, "I wasn't expecting to get anything." She said, "You really made my day." And that makes it all worthwhile, the volunteering, it really does. So, now a call to action. I hope I've inspired you to realise the importance of volunteering and how you can reward your eco-champions. Even just taking them out for a simple cup of coffee, glass of wine, and just saying thank you makes such a difference and gives people the encouragement to carry on. Just like you to take 30 seconds now to think of someone in your organisation who deserves a pat on the back. Just perhaps one or two, if somebody's got put their hand up for somebody they could really celebrate. We'll share it with the group afterwards. I think that's the best thing. Anyway, to conclude, it is very easy with climate action and biodiversity volunteering for people's efforts to go unnoticed. But all it takes is for someone like you to take a keen interest and to say thank you. And while we're saying thank you, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our esteemed tutor who has inspired the group. And I know I speak for all of us. You know, we've all probably never given public talks before. We've all been quite nervous, but she's given us the confidence to stand up here this morning and say what we need to say. So, here's to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.